Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the birth companion and the role and the importance of the birth companion. So, your birth companion typically is the husband, the partner, but occasionally it can be a friend, it can be your mother, whoever your birth companion is up to you. One of the things that I often said when I was working as a midwife is that birth is not a spectator sport. And what I mean by that is you don't want a ton of people in the room with you. What I would find over and over is that the more people there were in the room, the longer the labor was. And the reason for that is likely because a woman cannot really sort of surrender to the process, move around. If you want to get on, you feel like you want to get on your hands and knees and have your butt up in the air. You don't need 8 people staring at you, and so you might not go into that position, and you're in a different position. Yet your body's telling you to do this one, but you feel embarrassed to do it, right? So I would typically tell my clients 1 or 2 people max in the room with you during your birthing time. And you want someone there who will actually help you in some way, even if they're not doing something per se, but just their presence brings that sense of calm and peace. You don't want anybody who brings you anxiety in any way. Now, that might mean having certain people not in the room who want to be in the room. You have to remember that this is your birth, this is your body, this is your baby. So if people get offended by not being in the room with you, that's their problem and you have to let that go. Okay? So it's really, really important to consider who that person or persons are who are going to be in the room with you. Now, research shows that when you have one-on-one support by a birth companion, all sorts of wonderful benefits occur. So again, the decreased need for intervention, increased chance of spontaneous vaginal birth, improved satisfaction, that sort of thing is really beneficial. And obviously, the connection that one has with their birth companion during their birth is just a beautiful thing to experience. It's wonderful for the birth companion and for the woman and the baby as well. So it's important to consider who you would like with you as your birth companion. So, in terms of what the birth companion should be doing, when our clients sign up for Birth Unafraid, we have the birth companions do the program with them. They're doing all of the practice, they're reading the book, they're watching the videos, they're doing it all together for 2 reasons. One, so that they can actually themselves experience, feel what the woman's going to be feeling when she's in that deep, relaxed state. Understanding what it is, what the heck it is she's listening to, why she's listening to it, and the changes that are going to occur for her good in completing the program. So we do ask that the birth companions be a part of the whole process of the Birth Unafraid program. So they're doing, like I said, the practice and whatnot, and coming to the classes as well. Um, the birth companion, the other part in terms of what we teach here at Birth Unafraid is we provide a number of different tools that will help the laboring woman decrease pain, help the laboring woman deepen her relaxation, and be able to stay in the zone. So very often we have birth companions who just don't know what to do or what not to do, what to say, what not to say. And we provide a roadmap for that. So we provide you with the tools so that you feel like you've got something, like you've got that toolbox that you can pull from and utilize in those moments during your birth to help her stay calm and at peace and have decreased discomfort. So preparing the birth companion is as important as preparing the laboring woman as well. Coming in as a team is very helpful. The other part that birth companions really need to be helpful with is after the baby's born as well. So another piece that the birth companion needs to consider doing or providing as the support person is being the gatekeeper, if you will. So let's say labor has started. It's really important that the laboring woman not be the one tending to the phone calls, tending to the texts, the messaging, that kind of thing. That's what the birth companion really needs to take that on so that the birthing woman can stay focused, can stay in the zone. Okay. So you're going to take that on. So you're going to kind of police the calls you're also going to police who comes in and who doesn't. So you need to kind of stand firm on that. If someone says, "Oh, I want to come," or "I'm on my way," you say, "Sorry, we're not having anybody else here. Thank you, but we'll call you when the baby's born." With that, you want to consider not telling people that you're in labor. And the reason for that is twofold. So let's say you start early labor at 8 p.m. It's not active, but you're likely going to be starting active labor and have your baby in the next 24 hours. If you tell, Aunt Susie down the road that you're in labor, she may be waiting up all night waiting for your phone call, right? So she's up, and now you're up in active labor, and it's now 6 in the morning, and you're thinking, "Oh gosh, I hope Aunt Sue got some sleep," and you're worried about them, and now she's texting, and now she's on her way to the hospital. You run into a bunch of tension that you don't need, a lot of distraction that you don't need, a lot of anxiety that you don't need. So I often talk to people about really considering whether you actually want anyone other than the couple of people who are involved in your birth to know that you're in active labor or that you're in early labor. I would say consider not telling them until the baby is born. Surprise, baby's here. This is how it went. Because it just removes that level of distraction and distress that the laboring woman doesn't need. So that's something you want to consider as well. The other piece that's nice is to have your birth companion there sort of as the police at the door after the baby's born. So whether you're in the hospital or whether you're now at home, often people are discharged 12, 24 hours after. You don't want a parade of people coming through your house in the first few days. Western society is actually not very good at all in knowing how to help women and their families after babies are born. For some reason, we feel like, okay, we heard the baby's born, we need to run out and buy a present and make sure we get there within the first 24 hours that they're home, because otherwise they'll be upset that I wasn't there. Bring the balloons, sit there and talk for an hour. That's not what women need after the baby's born. What women need is someone to bring a meal, knock on the door, let them know you're coming ahead of time. "Hey, I've got a hot meal, I'm going to bring it to you," or "I have a frozen meal for you to put in your freezer. I'm not going to stay, just going to hand it to you." So you come to the door, birth companion comes to the door, not the woman. "Hi, thank you very much, that's amazing, thanks." And then they close the door and they're gone. So like being that person to say, "No, we need some space." It's a good idea to let those people in your life know that what your plan is and what you would need from them or want from them in terms of assistance. So for instance, if your mom would like to make you some homemade lasagna, right? Or you want to see both your sets of parents in the first 24 hours, that's fine. Send an email out at about maybe 32 weeks and say, "Hey, we've been thinking about this. This is what we're planning to do. So mom and dad, we're going to have you come within the first day. We'll text you. We'll let you know about what time we're thinking of. And when you come, can you bring a meal?" Right? Next person. So you've got specific people in the first few days visiting and bringing some food. But those visits, again, you can tell the family and friends, the visits are 15 minutes long. Like, be really specific. That's okay. It's very overwhelming when you are trying to breastfeed, get that established. You need some sleep. Your body needs to recuperate. Perhaps you have stitches. Sitting for long periods of time can be sore. Your milk's coming in. You're emotional. You got a lot going on in those first few days. You don't need to be entertaining. Okay, so that entertaining can wait. Be specific about what your needs are, and I will put a link here for you to download our visitors after the birth chart that you can add to and put on your fridge or send in an email. This is what we're planning. This is what we need. That's a very, very helpful way to ensure that you're not having lots of people come in and out. So birth companion, your role is important before the baby's born. You're practicing with her. You're helping her to learn how to relax, how to build that peaceful birth message unit. You are helpful during the birth. Your presence alone is helpful. All the tools in your toolbox will be amazing. And then after the birth as well. So you're very, very important in this. Don't ever forget that. She needs you more than you think. Again, if you would consider liking this video and subscribing, we would love it. Thanks so much. Take care.